Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hi, I'm Tim. And we're Travel Fit.
What are you doing?
Is it on? So that's Amanda turning the GoPro on, because I wouldn't have a clue.
Nice. How was that one, mate?
And there's Mike.
Feeling alright? Yeah. Alright.
We tag each other there.
Backing
This
it
is
off a
through
little
the
bit.
start-finish arch. Start-finish arch. Bit of a grass area. See all the tents on the right-hand side here.
Just sit down, mate.
I'm saying to Mike, just sit down and relax. That was our area where we just rode past. And straight into the single track. So that's a very steep little section there. You can see the track on the right also, if you actually come back on that. So it's a bunch of switchbacks. I've got a lot of fast forward in this. I've just slowed it down in the areas that I'll talk about. This was cut in really nicely, this bit of track. Okay, so you've got a really sharp right-hander here. And you've got to be in granny gear, otherwise you won't get up it. Here it comes, go around the corner, and bang, there it is. So the GoPro doesn't actually show how steep stuff is, I've noticed. Also, next time I have the GoPro on, I'll lift it a bit higher. It's probably a little bit low. I'm new to this. So this is that track you saw earlier that I said on the right hand side. Let me come back across. There's about 50 riders out here, more than 50, yet you feel like you're on your own a lot of the time. So that's the A line I took there, and you sort of drop in. Another little steep uphill. And at the top here there's a fire trail, you just cross that and you drop straight back in. Here it comes. Up we go. There it is, across, and you drop back in. So towards the end of this little bit of single track, there's a little steep bit. So Mike and I are a tag team is the way it works. 6 hours. He rides a lap, then I ride a lap, and we keep doing that for 6 hours. So you get about a 30-minute rest. Each lap was 10 kilometres, almost exactly 10k. Another little uphill bit here. Probably the first of the harder little climbs here. There was nothing majorly long. See how again granny gear up this. For those who don't know what granny gear is, it's your easiest gear on your bike. And then into a bit of fire trail, one of the few fire trail sections, pretty flat. And you turn into the left and you drop down over these tree roots. There you go. You can hear me locking it up at the back there. Pretty uneven. Fantastic tracks. I reckon this part of the track was what I rode 20 years ago. Kind of remember it. And off to the left down the bottom is the start-finish area. So we go across a rocky section here, which was really cool. So there's a 12-hour coming up out here and a 24. I'm not sure if they're utilising the same lap. Probably. You turn in, cross a fire trail again, there's a bit of fire trail, and you duck in on the left and you drop back down. Over a bit of a hump, and down you go. A bit dry out here as you can see. And on my left hand side, you can see the golf course. So Kooralbyn is a resort, and there's a golf course there. And the mountain bike tracks go around it. So fast forwarding again in this section. So this is the little log I jumped over there. That caught me out every time. Slightly uphill. So this is uphill, this section. Turn back up. I'll work out where I am here. Oh no, still on the same single track. And a fast section coming up. So you tend to constantly climb and a little bit of downhill. The longest climb was probably 2 minutes, I think, not much further. So fast forwarding, that section's not that exciting to watch at real time. Apologies for not looking at the actual camera. We're filming this with the phone, which is above the computer, so I'm watching this footage. Another fast section. Pretty rocky there. There's a water bottle back there. That was there my first lap. It was the entire race. So someone must have dropped their water bottle, I reckon, on their first lap. Sat there for the whole 6 hours. No one hit it. So you can see how quick that is. A lot of fun, bit of a berm. Ruts either side of it, so you have to really pick your line across that. Apologies for my voice, I've been a bit sick. And slightly uphill again. So again, we'll fast forward. There's that golf course again on the left hand side. So it must be a massive golf course. And we do a big loop around it here. So this section is a new bit of track. They just cut it in from here. Oh no, that's the berm, that's the berm. Go down here. I'm just trying to work out where I am here. Here, this section. So it was pretty raw. And you can see it on the right hand side coming back in. So I don't know why they cut that new bit of track. Again, the golf course. It was quite pretty, not that you really get an opportunity to look at it. Uphill again this section, although fast forward. So a lot of gum trees here, or eucalyptus trees. We call them gum trees here in Australia. Everywhere, there was kangaroos galore. So you go either side there. If you went to the left hand side, my handlebars just fit through. So really narrow tree. So first time I went through there, and from then on I went around to the right hand side. Okay, so this is the fire trail, fairly quick downhill. As we come around this corner, you've got to pick your line through the centre. It's rutted both sides. That's it there. So if you went off either side, you'd be in all sorts of trouble. It's quite a narrow line for a fire trail. There you go, you can see it there. You drop down into a dry creek. Probably the greenest part of the course here. Almost like a rainforest. It's beautiful when you climb up out of the rocks. I reckon that was almost probably the lowest part of the course. From this point you're kind of climbing up. You head up to the highest part of the course. Fast forward that again. Take on a bit of fire trail and we turn into the left up here. So this bit here, you're still going uphill. You go to the right and it drops you down. And there it goes. I had to miss those rocks on the left hand side. It's actually a pretty difficult little spot. Doesn't look it there. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain we're heading uphill. There's kind of a hill in front of us. I think that's what we end up going up. Just trying to remember where I am on the course. Another nice bit of single track. And it speeds up a little bit. Thoroughly enjoyed this 6 hour. Mike and I have been riding together for over 20 years, so we're pretty similar. Poor bastard had to do an extra lap when I punctured, but he's tough, he can handle that. So actually I ended up doing 5 laps and Mike did 7. All my laps were between 31 and 33 minutes. I kept them all within 2 minutes. We never got Mike's actual laps, probably similar. It's doing my head in watching this fast forward. So there's an area coming up, we're going to lock it up. It's not there. I'm a bit lost here. Move uphill. Alright, coming up behind a rider here. Nice to be polite.
How you feeling, mate? Thank you.
He might have been doing solo, I don't know. This is my 3rd lap, so he was looking a little bit delicate already. 6 hours continuous, I don't think I'd like to do that, but some people do. This section was a little bit gnarly, sort of a creek again, I think. You climb straight back out. You had to select your granny gear before this little climb. Again, that caught me out first lap, but this is my 3rd, remember, so I'm starting to get the hang of it by now. And I think that little sharp right hand is coming up. You hear me lock it up. I reckon I stuffed it every lap. So you'll see me lifting my hand up there. I'm checking the time. Okay, you go left or right here. I went to the right, obviously. You go over a little bit of logs coming up. Group of logs, and you sort of lift over the top of those. There they are, at the score. And then you see the track come down on the right hand side. I actually overtook a bloke one of the laps up there. I went to the left hand side, he stayed right. It was a good spot to overtake. Nice flowy section. As good a track as anywhere you'd ride, actually. It's really cool. Fast forwarding again. And you can hear my back wheel locking up there. That was a tabletop. Mike warned me about that tabletop. He did the first lap because neither of us had ridden a lap, and I think he almost came unstuck there. Behind another rider.
How you going, man? Having fun?
I'm not sure if he was having fun, but it's nice to ask. So going back to that tabletop, Mike warned me about it. So I was pretty hard on the brakes coming into that because it would just shoot you if you don't know how to jump, which I don't. So it was pretty delicate through that section. Another nice fast flowy trail. Rocky section. I reckon I buggered the line up every time through there. I took about 3 or 4 different lines. Maybe there wasn't a line. And back onto the rocks. You can see me going up. Alright, we've got an array of switchbacks now. They're quite hard. They're quite steep. In a sec you'll see on the right hand side the trail that you turn into. So you do a switchback and turn back into it. There it goes, but no, you can't really see it there. Maybe the next one. I think there's 4 or 5 of these switchbacks. Here's another one. Quite steep. So uphill here, this is actually climbing up to the highest part of the course. So this is probably the longest climb. As I said, maybe 2 minutes. You can see the track there on the right. So this was the steepest switchback, or the sharpest. See that tree root? I had to go around to the right of that every time. Another switchback, so constantly uphill. So heart rate getting up a bit here. Coming up here, there was, I'm not sure if it was an A and B line. If you went straight ahead there, you couldn't ride it. I don't know if that was an A line, but you had to go around to the left. And this was, those trees there are really cool. I'm not sure if you could go to the right or straight ahead there. I don't know if anyone tried it. There was no signs, but you have to be a hell of a rider to get up that. So I'm coming up to the highest part of the course. Excuse me. So you can see the bunting up here. You do a hard right, there I go, and that's it. That's the highest point. So not far from the start finish area now. And this is pretty rocky. There's a little climb coming up, but basically it's downhill, so this is the fastest part of the course. This was really fun. So I pop into the left here, and there it goes. You can see the rocks there, so it was a pretty rocky section. Just hang on and let the bike go. My bike performed really well actually, except for the puncture. But it needs an overhaul now. I'll get around to that eventually. So this is another little uphill section, not long. All those ruts in the track, you had to pick your line through there. But it's pretty clear where you're going to go. You can see it pretty well with the camera. It's a bit shaky, this camera. We might have to look at another GoPro. Doesn't shake. Another rider here.
There you go, man. You alright?
He was looking very fragile, that dude. Again, I reckon they were all doing it solo. So nice little drop in here. Rocky as. Cool fun. I keep saying that, but it really was a lot of fun. I didn't blow up. So in 5 laps, which was about just probably 2 hours 40 total riding. I felt great the whole way through. I didn't cramp. I have been known to cramp, but I didn't. I made sure I drank heaps in between laps and had some sweet biscuits and lollies and so forth. Really kept the energy up. You see that rocky section? That was cool. And you go high there, so you could go left or right, and then we come into this wooden berm, which was awesome. Handmade. Oh no, that's the bit I went to the right. Here's the bit. Look at that, how cool is that? And that little narrow bridge there, to make sure you came straight onto that. So downhill all the way now. So yeah, I felt really good when we did the 12 hour 20 years ago. Actually, I only blew up at 10 hours, so I was younger, 20 years younger. You're bulletproof when you're 20 years younger. You can see the berms there, again, pretty rutted. You have to pick your line around them. So that makes it more fun, actually. Another berm, we come into a fast section now. I think it's this area, so probably the fastest part of the course. Yeah, I think it is. So it swings around to the left, going downhill. You didn't have to touch your brakes through here. It's really fun. Just flowed really well. Pick up speed now, I think. There we go. And at the bottom of this, there's a berm that goes around to the right, so you have to hit the ankles pretty hard. There we go, look at that. Awesome. And there's that berm. You'll be locking it up again. Checking my watch again. Always trying to keep an eye on the time. I was pretty consistent, as I said, and I really wanted to remain that way. Now, I think this is the last berm, and straight ahead now is the start-finish area if I'm in the right spot. There should be a little tabletop here that I go around. Actually, I went over that one. There's another one coming up. I went around to the left. Yeah, this is it. You can see the tents up there. That's the start-finish area. Remember, it's a 10k loop. Over the timber bridge. And Mike is waiting there for me. So down through that creek that I started at. You can see Mike up ahead. So we put our hand out and tag him. Had to be tagged before he went through the finish chute. There he is.
That was 32.5, so I've dropped about a minute and a half that one.
I turn off back to our little tent. You'll see Mike come around as he does his loop. So now I get 30 minutes to rest. Here he comes.
I felt that one. Well done, mate.
And I did feel it, but I was actually feeling pretty good. And Amanda comes over and turns off the GoPro.
Oh, feeling it now. That was hard.
She is. Awesome. Now listen, you lot, you need to subscribe.
Did you like this video? Give us the thumbs up and also press the bell for notifications and you'll find out when our next video drops.